Welcome to the TourAI Podcast. This deep dive is tailored specifically for you, especially if you're thinking about, or maybe already planning, a trip through Vietnam.
That's right. We've gathered insights from various sources, looking at how to get around the country. We'll spend some time on the trains, and of course, diving into that amazing street food.
Plus, all those practical tips you really need before you go.
Exactly. Our mission here is basically to sift through all this info and pull out the really useful stuff, the practical advice.
Think of it like a cheat sheet, really. Hopefully, by the end, you'll feel much more clued in and ready for your own Vietnam adventure.
Absolutely. We'll start with the trains, the famous Reunification Express. Look at the good, maybe the not so good.
The romance and the reality, yeah.
Then, that culinary journey, the street food scene is just immense. We'll break down some regional differences and must-try dishes.
And finally, wrap up with some essential traveler advice.
Okay, so getting around. Vietnam's a long country, and the train, particularly that main north-south line, it really comes up again and again in the sources as something special.
Right, and it's not just transport, is it? It's got this incredible history, built by the French, back in the 1880s?
Yeah, way back. And then heavily damaged during the wars, only fully restored and reopened in 1976.
Which is why it often gets called the Reunification Express. It's symbolic.
Totally. And the appeal, according to the sources, isn't just getting from A to B. It's about the pace. It's slower, yeah, but you actually see the country. You watch the landscape change.
You really get a feel for it in a way flying just doesn't allow. Plus, avoiding airport hassles is always a bonus.
Definitely. And the views. The sources rave about certain sections.
Yeah.
That bit between Hue and Da Nang, going over the Hai Van Pass.
Oh, yeah, that gets singled out constantly. Tracks supposedly clinging to cliff sides.
Exactly. Revealing these hidden coves and beaches, views of Da Nang City in the distance.
And then you drop down, and it's all rice paddies and water buffalo. Classic Vietnam scenes.
And it's not the only scenic route. Apparently, the Hanoi to Lao Cai trip up north towards Sapa has great mountain scenery, too.
And further south, Nha Trang to Quy Nhon offers coastal stretches.
But yeah, back to that reality check. It's romantic, but it is slow.
Very slow. Over 30 hours end-to-end, Hanoi to Ho Chi Minh City.
So probably not for the whole length unless you really love train travel. The sources suggest it's best for those mid-range chunks.
Like Hanoi down to Hue. Or maybe just doing that super scenic Hue to Da Nang bit.
Precisely. And when you book, you've got options. Lots of options on Vietnam railways, varying quite a bit in comfort and price.
Okay, let's break those down. You've got hard seat. Sounds basic.
It is. Think wooden benches, often crowded. Really only okay for a very short daytime trip, if that.
Right. Then soft seat. A bit better.
Marginally. Padded seats. Maybe manageable for a few hours, but still not ideal for long hauls.
Okay, so sleepers are where it's at for overnight or longer journeys. Hard sleeper.
Yeah, hard sleeper. These are cabins with 6-berth, 3 bunks on each side. It's your budget sleeper.
How hard is hard?
Pretty thin mattresses, apparently, and space is tight. One source had a great tip. Aim for a lower bunk if you can.
Oh, why's that?
Easier access.
Yeah.
Climbing up to that top bunk, especially in the middle of the night or if the train's swaying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lower bunk means less hassle, more headroom when sitting up, too.
Good tip. Okay, next level up is soft sleeper.
Right. 4 berths per cabin, 2 on each side. This seems to be the sweet spot for most travelers doing overnight trips.
Better mattresses.
Yeah.
More space.
Yeah, softer mattresses, a bit more room to move. Generally considered the best value. These get popular, so booking ahead is smart.
And then there's the top tier, VIP sleeper.
Exactly.
Ha!
Usually 2-berth cabins, much more private and comfortable. Often these aren't run by Vietnam Railways itself, but by private companies like Sapoli or Chapa.
Ah, so they attach their fancy carriages to the main train.
Kind of, yeah. Like the Victoria Express train, for example. Definitely the most comfortable way to go,
Yeah.
and also the priciest.
And probably the quickest to sell out, I imagine.
For sure. Booking ahead is key for all sleeper types, but especially soft and VIP. Prices fluctuate too, based on the seat when you book.
And time of year, right. Tet, the Lunar New Year, must be crazy expensive and booked solid.
Absolutely. Prices can jump significantly then. So yeah, book early. VIPs might need a booking a month, maybe even more, in advance during peak season. Soft sleepers, maybe a few days to a week or more, depending.
How do you actually book station online?
You can buy at the station. It's simple enough if tickets are available. But for peace of mind, especially during busy times, online is better.
Okay, which sites?
Third-party sites like Ballo, Bookaway, or 12Go Asia are mentioned frequently. They're generally user-friendly for international travelers.
What about the official Vietnam Railways site?
It exists, but sources suggest it can be temperamental. Sometimes issues with accepting international credit cards, maybe not the most intuitive interface.
Ah, okay. So paying a small booking fee on a third-party site might just be worth the lack of hassle.
Often, yeah, saves a potential headache. Booking usually opens about 60 to 90 days out, by the way.
Good to know. And for the journey itself, any practical tips?
Definitely. Get to the station maybe 30 minutes early, gives you time to find your platform, pack snacks and water.
Onboard food isn't great, I take it.
It's functional. Instant noodles, maybe some basic rice dishes. Vendors do hop on at stop selling things, which can be fun, but having your own supplies is wise. Maybe a travel pillow or blanket too.
And safety. Valuables.
Keep them close. Use a lock on your main bag if you can stow it securely. Keep essentials, passport, phone, wallet, and a day bag right with you. Maybe even sleep with it if you're in a shared cabin. Petty theft isn't rampant, but it's possible.
Right, be sensible. What about connectivity? Wi-Fi, 4G.
Hit and miss. Don't count on consistent 4G outside of major towns or cities, and definitely expect dropouts in tunnels. Download movies, books, whatever you need beforehand.
And manage expectations about other facilities.
Yeah. Cleanliness can vary. The ride might be bumpy. And the toilets, well, they tend to get less pleasant as the journey goes on. Not always terrible, but best to be prepared.
Huh. Okay. Part of the adventure. One source mentioned something about an unexpected bus transfer.
Oh, yeah. Classic Vietnam travel story. Their train stopped, and they had to get off, take a bus to another location, and board a different train.
Wow.
It just highlights that you need a bit of flexibility, you know? Things don't always go exactly to plan. Roll with it.
Good advice for any travel, really. How does the train stack up against flying or driving?
Well, flying is obviously faster for long distances like Hanoi to HCMC, maybe 2 hours flight time. But add airport transfers, check-in time, baggage fees.
Yeah, it adds up.
Private cars are super flexible and comfortable, door-to-door, but they're easily the most expensive option for long hauls.
So the train finds that middle ground. Affordable, especially for longer distances, plus you get the views and the experience.
Exactly. It connects you to the country in a different way. One last safety note. Besides valuables, be aware of potential scams, like someone trying to claim your pre-booked berth is theirs. Just politely but firmly hold your ground and show your ticket. Keep your cabin door closed if you have one.
Right. Stay aware. Okay, let's totally switch gears from the clickety-clack of the train
to the sizzle and scent of the street stalls.
Yes. Vietnamese street food. The sources call it a tasty maze. I love that.
It's perfect, isn't it? It can feel a bit overwhelming at first. So many choices, so many little stalls. But wow, is it rewarding.
And it's not just one type of food, is it? Big regional differences.
Huge differences. Up north, around Hanoi, you get more Chinese influence. Flavors tend to be maybe simpler, heartier, lots of brothy dishes, freshwater ingredients.
That's where you find the classic bun cha and pho, right?
Exactly. And the unique Hanoi thing, egg coffee. We have to talk about that later.
Definitely. Then Central Vietnam Hue, Da Nang, Hoi An.
That's kind of the bridge between north and south, known for being spicier. Bun Bo Hue, the spicy beef noodle soup, is the star there.
And Hoi An has those super specific local dishes, Cao Lao, white rose dumplings.
Yeah, things you supposedly can only get made authentically right there. We'll get into why.
Okay, and the South. Ho Chi Minh City, Mekong Delta.
There you feel more Cambodian and Thai influences. Flavors get more complex, sweet, sour, salty, spicy, all playing together. Pho is still huge, but maybe slightly different. And the Mekong Delta's influence means tons of fresh produce, seafood.
Banh Zio, the crispy pancake, that's from the South originally.
Yep, originated in the Mekong Delta, though you find it elsewhere now too.
What are the building blocks, the core flavors across the board?
Fish sauce, nuoc mam. It's fundamental. The sources call it the soul of the cuisine.
I believe it. What else?
Fresh herbs are crucial. Mountains of mint, basil, cilantro, perula leaves. They add so much freshness and aroma. Lemongrass, ginger, garlic, chilies, of course.
And noodles and rice.
Tons of rice noodles in various shapes and sizes. And jasmine rice with almost everything. Oh, and the sources mention MSG is often used, contributing to that savory depth.
Good to know. Okay, let's talk specific dishes. Must-tries. Pho has to be number one.
Absolutely. The iconic noodle soup. Pho Ten Lai Quoc Su and Hanoi's Old Quarter got a shout-out. Key thing. Don't just eat it as it comes. Use those herbs and lime they give you.
Customize it. Got it. Banh Mi.
The amazing Vietnamese sandwich. French baguette filled with pate, pork, herbs, pickled veggies. Banh Mi 25 in Hanoi was recommended. So good.
Bun Chak, another Hanoi classic.
Oh yeah. Grilled pork patties and slices served with rice noodles, herbs, and a dipping sauce. Bun Chak Kim and Bun Ja Hung Lien were named as top spots. Often comes with Nem Kwa Bi.
Crab spring rolls.
Yes. Crispy, delicious. Or them together.
Okay, heading central. Bun Bo Hue.
The spicy beef noodle soup from Hue. It's got lemongrass chili, fermented shrimp paste. Complex and addictive. Bumbo Hue Mu Roy in Hue is a classic spot, but you'll find good versions elsewhere too.
And Bon Joe, that crispy pancake.
Yeah. It's this big, yellow, crispy crepe, usually filled with pork, shrimp, and bean sprouts. More common down south and central, but one source found a good spot in Hanoi too. Na Hang, Mr. Bay Man Te. Bun Jo Bahai in HCMC is another recommendation.
How do you eat it?
It's interactive. You break off a piece, wrap it in lettuce or rice paper with fresh herbs, then dip it in the nuoc cham sauce. So crunchy and fresh.
Fun. Now, egg coffee. Explain this magical creation.
It sounds weird, but trust me. Strong Vietnamese coffee topped with this thick, creamy, sweet froth made from whisked egg yolks and condensed milk.
Wow, like a dessert coffee.
Kind of, almost like a liquid tiramisu.
Rich.
Sweet, surprisingly delicious. Cafe Den in Hanoi was mentioned as a great atmospheric place to try it.
I'm intrigued. And those Hoi An specialties, Cao Lao.
Fascinating stuff. The noodles are unique, traditionally made using water from a specific ancient well in Hoi An called Bala Well.
Seriously?
Yeah, and supposedly the ash of certain trees from the nearby Cham Islands is used in the process too. Gives them a distinct texture and color, served with pork and greens.
That's incredible dedication to tradition. And white rose dumplings.
Delicate, translucent shrimp dumplings folded to look like little white roses. Very specific to Hoi An. You really have to try them there.
Okay, what else should be on the list? Any other widespread favorites?
Definitely Kam Ga chicken and rice. Famous in Hoi An, but found everywhere. Bat Chin fried rice, flour cake, kind of like savory cubes, often with egg. Popular street food, especially in HCMC.
Anything more adventurous?
Well, bamboo duck from Sapa sounds amazing. Duck cooked inside a bamboo tube. Bun Ria is a crab and tomato noodle soup, really flavorful. Gof Ko, fresh summer rolls, not fried, light and healthy.
Morning Glory. The vegetable.
Yes. Stir-fried water spinach with garlic. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly tasty and you find it everywhere. Papaya salad, loads of seafood and snails if you're game. Grilled goat is popular in some areas. Ban bao steamed pork buns, great snack.
And the fruit.
Oh, the markets are incredible. Durian, if you dare. Milk apple, longan, rambutan, mangosteen. Just try everything. A source suggested grabbing fruit near Hanoi Station for train snacks.
Smart. What about drinks? Besides coffee?
Rice wine, often called happy water.
Uh-oh. Strong stuff.
Very. Often homemade, can be over 40% alcohol. Be prepared if locals offer you some. You might learn the toast. Mott, hai ba, dizo.
1, 2, 3, cheers. Got it. Any tips for actually eating street food? The logistics.
Yeah, key things. It's super cheap, like maybe $100 a dish, usually max $3. Even a sit-down local place is often under $10.
And the tiny plastic chairs.
Embrace them. They're everywhere. Apparently, it helps vendors pack up fast if needed. You'll likely be sharing tables, too.
Utensils?
Chopsticks, sometimes spoons for soup. Wiping your chopsticks with a napkin before you eat is common practice. Don't be alarmed if you see locals do it.
Communal herbs and stuff on the table.
Yeah, bowls of fresh greens, chilies, lime wedges, they often get reused between customers. It's just how it is. If you're worried, stick to the hot food.
Good point. I heard some dishes are served intentionally mild.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially soups. They give you the base, and you add the chili sauce, fish sauce, lime, sugar, herbs to make it taste exactly how you like it. It's expected.
So don't be shy with the condiments.
Exactly. Also, if a place is named after a dish like Phu Thin or Bun Chadat Kim, that's their specialty. Usually a safe bet to just order that.
Makes sense. What about breakfast?
Don't expect cereal. Savory is common, noodle soups, rice dishes. Many stalls are only open in the morning, serving breakfast to locals heading to work. Follow the crowds.
Language barrier.
Usually not a big issue for ordering food. Pointing works wonders. Holding up fingers for quantity. It's all good.
And for deeper understanding.
Food tours or cooking classes are highly recommended by the sources. You learn about the ingredients, the history. It adds a lot.
Okay. Any quick phrases for dietary needs? Vegetarian? Gluten-free?
Yeah, Che. Sounds like Che means vegetarian. You could try saying Toyan Che.
I am vegetarian.
For gluten-free, Kong gluten. Kong gluten. Maybe try Kong ko gluten, sin kamor, Kong ko gluten, sin kamlan. No gluten, thank you. It might work, but awareness isn't universal.
Good basics to have. All right, let's pull together some final practical tips for travelers.
That sounds good. One source made an interesting point about Hanoi being great for solo female travelers. Felt safe, affordable, easy to connect with others.
That's good to hear. How long should people plan for a trip?
Minimum 10 days seems to be the advice to hit the main highlights, maybe Hanoi, Halong Bay, Hue Hoi An, HCMC. But 2 weeks lets you breathe a bit more, maybe add Sapa or the Mekong Delta.
And weather varies a lot, right? North to south.
Massively. Vietnam is long and thin. Check the specific regions you plan to visit for the best time of year weather-wise. It could be lovely in the south, but rainy season in the center.
Budget? Any ballpark figures?
For backpacker style, sources suggest around 25 to 45 USD per person per day. Covers hostels, street food, local transport, basic activities. Obviously goes up from there depending on your comfort level.
Visas? Crucial.
Absolutely critical. Check requirements for your nationality well in advance. Rules change. Some Europeans get 45 days visa-free now, I think. But U.S., Australian citizens, others likely need an e-visa or embassy visa, especially for longer stays. Don't leave it to the last minute.
Good advice. And if joining a tour,
Arrive a day or two early if you can. Gives you time to beat jet lag, wander around a bit on your own before the tour schedule kicks in. Makes the start much smoother.
makes sense. Any other safety points we haven't covered, besides valuables on trains?
Just general awareness in crowded areas. One specific thing mentioned, more for cultural awareness, was about dog and cat meat. Thieat cho, or keto for dog, thieat meo for cat.
Is that common?
Becoming less common, especially with younger people and in cities. And sources say it's highly unlikely you'd be served it accidentally as a tourist. It's usually sought out specifically. But knowing the terms helps if you see them on a menu and want to avoid it.
Right. Good to be aware. Finally, there was that interesting reflection about the history, feeling the weight of the past in places like Hue.
Yeah, that was quite profound. A reminder that travel isn't always just about the sights and tastes. Places hold memories, histories, sometimes painful ones. Vietnam has a complex past, and in certain locations, like Hue, which saw so much fighting, you might feel that resonance. It adds another layer, maybe unexpected, to the whole experience.
Definitely something to keep in mind. It's not just scenery, it's history you can feel.
Exactly.
Okay, so to wrap up this deep dive, we've looked at navigating Vietnam by rail. That historic reunification Express, the views, the options, the reality.
We've explored that incredible, delicious maze of Vietnamese street food, region by region, dish by dish, with tips on how to dive in.
And we've covered those vital practical points, visas, budgets, timing, safety to help you plan your journey.
Vietnam really seems to offer this incredibly rich mix, intense flavors, stunning landscapes, and yeah, that deep historical resonance.
It's a place of fascinating contrasts for sure.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. As you travel, perhaps on that slow train or navigating a bustling market, consider how those contrasts connect. How the vibrant energy of today sits alongside the echoes of the past. Experiencing the food, the places. Maybe it connects you not just to the culture now, but to the long story of the country itself.
Something to think about while you're sipping that egg coffee, perhaps. Thank you for joining this deep dive.
Thank you for listening to the TourAI Podcast.